Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel right now. I will have a live stream tonight at around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So be here at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do a couple more uploads today as well. This is The Guardian. This is The Guardian yesterday or the other day explaining how to defeat Trump, because the opinion piece ends with he very likely or very possibly could win. You have The Guardian conceding that Trump, and this is an article in The Guardian, is likely or possibly or on his way to defeating Biden or a Democrat that replaces our current president. Anyway, it's very interesting because they yet again try to give a psychological answer. The author, I believe, references the experts within psychology. Experts within psychology are referenced to explain why people vote for Trump. Okay? And there's a difference, according to the author, between intrinsic and extrinsic values. And people who vote for Trump are interested more in extrinsic values: fame, power, prestige, a strong man. And so they care more about those types of values, which Trump represents, according to The Guardian. He has his name on buildings, and he's powerful and strong, and he goes after his enemies. And so that's the type of thing the Trump voter likes. This is the only one of the main reasons that The Guardian could come up with pertaining to why Trump defeated Clinton in 2016 and why he's on his way to defeating Biden in 2024, or Democrats. Number one, hit subscribe to this channel right now to read by writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. Number one, the author or the publication does not understand that we reached record low poverty in 2019. People vote for Trump, and I say this with all due respect at the very talented and educated and awesome and wonderful journalists at The Guardian. People vote for Trump because we had record low poverty in 2019. Record low poverty is good. And I have a lot of viewers in the UK, and I love you. And in Australia and throughout the world. I love you all. And I know that there are a great many people in the UK that love Trump because of intrinsic values like myself, not just extrinsic values, which are discussed in the Guardian piece. But you have record low poverty in 2019. Everyone at the Washington Post, the Times, the Guardian, the Atlantic should realize that people vote for Trump because we had record low poverty in 2019. And this is why he's on his way to defeating Biden yet again. Or I should say, to defeating Biden for the first time. I actually think Hillary Clinton will probably replace our current president. They're already talking about a new nominee or somebody else opposite Trump in November. So, yes, of course, he never defeated Biden, but he did defeat Clinton Trump, and he'll defeat the Democrat opposite him in 24. We all know this. Even The Guardian knows this. That's why they're trying to psychoanalyze the Trump voter. But I can give you I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders is the most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. What do I know about Trump voters that perhaps The Guardian and the Washington Post and others, perhaps people don't understand? There's a direct correlation between Bernie Sanders in 2016 and Donald Trump because people like myself care about poverty levels. We had the lowest poverty rate ever. Largest reduction in poverty in 50 years. I also care about foreign policy. I don't want never-ending military conflict. We'll come to that in a second. So, contrary to the psychoanalysis that claims that Trump voters just simply care about his name on the top of a building, we had record low poverty. Very good. Everyone loves record low poverty. Thus, we vote for Trump. Here, incomes hit a record high. We had record highs in household median income. We did not have the inflation, nor did we have the astronomical interest rates. So interest rates weren't at 7 to 8% to buy a home. They were at less than around 3%. Things were much better in terms of the economy. We had record low poverty, and we had record highs in household median income. Real wages grew faster under Trump than they did under Biden. Real wages have been down under Biden because of the inflation. This is also a reason to vote for Trump. You don't have to psychoanalyze anyone. You don't have to look at extrinsic and intrinsic values that people gravitate towards. Incomes hit record highs in 2019, and poverty hit a record low. And then guess what happened? Bureaucrats and wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats and others said we need to shut down economic activity. The U.S. labor force is around 41 years old. The average age of the person who lost his or her life from you-know-what was over 65, in some cases 70 plus, depending on the state. You do the math. Trump signed prison reform legislation. Yes, the despot, the totalitarian, the authoritarian, and the belligerent, monster actually signed prison reform legislation. Okay? So usually despots and totalitarians don't sign prison reform legislation, but he did. Then the Abraham Accords. They don't try to make peace deals in other countries. Excuse me. So we had the Abraham Accords, we had prison reform legislation, we had incomes hitting record highs, and we had poverty hitting record low. Then, of course, there was the summit where Trump was the first president to step foot in North Korea. These are more lasting achievements than anything President Obama has done. What did Libya? What did President Obama do to earn the respect and the love of The Guardian and every other liberal publication? And these are just a handful of achievements. The Doha Agreement was a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal. And it removed Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts that Biden did not want to remove Americans from. That's why he waited until the summer, which caused all the problems. And American lives were lost. And the lives of Afghans were lost as well because of Democrats in this administration waiting until the summer and not agreeing with the actual withdrawal date within the Doha Agreement. And so we can go on forever. We had a great economy and a foreign policy that was much better, less militant. We didn't have all the problems we have now on a geopolitical level with Trump. But we had the media meltdown. People despised his personality. They put personality first. Then you have articles saying, we really need to understand the psychology of Trump voters. I mean, my goodness, how could anyone vote for Trump? I don't know. You think maybe record low poverty is a good reason? You think record highs in household median income is a good reason? Prison reform legislation, Abraham Accords, Doha Agreement, first president to step foot in North Korea. These are good things. And then today, he waited. I don't know why Trump waited to pass the statute of limitations. They lied about him in a dossier, from a former intelligence operative in the UK that created this dossier. It was purchased by his direct political rival, and he still can't sue. His direct political rivals were actually fined by the FEC. Clinton and the DNC were fined by the FEC for purchasing the Steele dossier with campaign funds. And still Trump can't sue. He waited until, God bless former President Trump, he waited until the statute of limitations had expired. Okay, so, but still, it's unbelievable. Everyone, CNN, he sues CNN for complete nonsense all the time. Oh, well, it's just opinion. But then he loses the lawsuit, defamation lawsuit. Okay, we can go on forever. Of course, the double standard is, had Trump purchased the same dossier from Steele, you better believe the entire planet would have sued him, tried to sue him into oblivion, and the courts would have obliged, almost certainly. Anyway, we can go on forever. The point is, record low poverty, record highs in household median income, prison reform legislation, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea, Doha Agreement, just to name a few things he accomplished. That's why people vote for Trump. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. You don't need a psychologist to find out why Trump voters vote for Trump. Because he was a great president. He did. You judge a president by the economy and by his foreign policy. You don't judge him by media, the apoplectic, hysterical nature of how media, the nature of how media tries to tarnish or disparage a president. 24/7 negative media coverage. Anyway, hit subscribe to this with Trump receipts. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Be here for the live stream tonight.